Hello, hope you're all doing very well. It's January 20th, and of course today I'm back. So today I'm going to be talking about pretty much a winter storm over the weekend that we could be looking at for many areas. We're going to be going through that pretty much. We're going to be looking at also another severe weather event likely as we go into next week. So that's going to be kind of the main focuses of today's video. Hope you're all doing very well today. It's Friday. So yeah, let's go and get started. So this is just the HRRR model we're looking at Kansas, of course, here. So as we go through tonight, by about 10 or 9 p.m. Central Time, we're starting to see a little bit of snow starting to come into these far western Kansas counties. And then as we can see, as we go through the night, they just slowly kind of move east with some bringing in even some more heavier snow as this low really starts to get its act together in the southern plains. And we just think, we can see all the way through tomorrow morning, this thing's just cranking out snow across western Kansas. That still continues all the way in western Kansas and begins to move into central Kansas, and even maybe some bands starting to move into Missouri by tomorrow at about like 4 p.m. Maybe as early as 2, starting to get in that area north of Kansas City. We can see most of Kansas does see some flakes, other than the southeastern area, the southeastern portion of Kansas here might mainly kind of stay as a rain. Maybe some stuff mixing in as we go later into Saturday night, but no accumulations really likely in that area. But even down in Oklahoma, where we have this wraparound moisture, we can even look at some snow in that area tomorrow. So yeah, total snowfall accumulations by the time this is all said and done across Kansas. We're looking at some pretty good snowfall accumulations in western Kansas, in between 6 to 8 inches in some areas. Even over towards Wichita, we do see a little bit of snow, but not a lot of snow, for sure. Definitely not. But a little bit of snow, maybe enough to make the ground white up towards Kansas City. Probably a little bit of snow as well, but a little bit warmer temperatures in that area. We take a look at actual temperatures. And we can see how tonight western Kansas does get below freezing, but then tomorrow, or this is the 19Z, you want the 18Z, but we can see tomorrow how this area of southeastern Kansas does get pretty warm and up into the 40s, so it's going to help. And then it does stay in the mid 30s, 34. So even if it does switch over to snow, it's definitely going to have a hard time accumulating. But in some areas down in Oklahoma, if we see some heavy enough snowfall rates with these warmer temperatures, we could see some accumulation for sure. Because by Sunday morning, some areas a little bit. Those below freezing temperatures do push a little bit further east, but not a ton. And let's move over to another area now. I want to get a whole region here. I guess just the Great Lakes, maybe. I think this will be good. So we can see after this moves through that area, Missouri, a good portion of Missouri can be looking at snow. Even northern Arkansas can be looking at snow Saturday night. Some light to moderate snow in some areas, even some heavier snow potentially down near that rain snow line. Which even Kentucky is getting snow from this, northern Kentucky, western Kentucky. So pretty good winter storm for those areas. Southern Illinois, Indiana, of all that snow. And this doesn't go out far enough for these areas over here, but over here we can get kind of a good idea what type of snowfall accumulations we're going to be looking at. So let me just get this pulled up here. Yeah, so we could be looking at a good 1 to 2 inches across most of these areas here, which is good to see. And now I want to move over into the northeast, which the northeast is a little bit different here. We'll use the NAM 12 just so it'll actually go out far enough. Okay. So let me move this over here. All right. So we're in the northeast. This is Sunday afternoon. This is about roughly 3-4 p.m. and we're looking at some pretty decent snowfall coming in areas of PA, New York, and then throughout as we go into Sunday evening, we see this pushes east, of course, still staying as rain mainly in the New York City area there, but just north of New York City, we're looking at some pretty decent snowfall potentially. This is a little different than models like the GFS. So the GFS, actually, it's not that different anymore. Okay, I thought that they were different. That's my bad. But yeah. So we briefly see, like they're in the onset of this precip. We see some snow pretty far south across this area here. But then as we get that low to move north, we see that rain snow line shift a little further north. But still, it's definitely trended a little further south with the snowfall that we see. And then this is out of here by Monday afternoon, pretty much, with just a few snow showers left in the backside. But a pretty decent winter storm for even not really the coastal northeast, but getting pretty close to the coastal northeast. This is a little bit better than our last system. We can see most of New England here, with the exception of the coast. It does see some good snowfall from this. Taking a look at like total snowfall accumulations here off the Kuchera ratio from the NAM 12 here. We're looking at across PA, a good 2 to 3 inches. State College about 1 to 3 inches. Up into New York a little more, as we see a little bit more precip. So in some areas maybe up to about 6 inches. And then even over into, we see even more snowfall as we head a little further northeast into like areas of coastal Maine. Coastal Maine could get some pretty decent snowfall from this. Not really coastal, but kind of like right along the coast, but a little bit further kind of inland, but not interior Maine really. So yeah, pretty decent winter storm, a little further south than our last one, so that's an improvement for sure. But take a look at some other models here, like the GFS. GFS, very similar solution with that pocket of heavy snow. A little further north though, not as much of a coastal storm in Maine. Something to kind of look at there. And then the European, very similar as well, with this pocket of snow here, kind of east of Binghamton. And here we had the Hudson River, so we're probably seeing some warmer temperatures there, which leads to a little bit less snowfall. But then right after that, we see that band of snow continue. So we're going to be looking at a pretty good winter storm in some areas of the Northeast for sure. Most areas in Massachusetts and northern Connecticut could see a couple of inches, and even coastal Maine. So a lot of areas here. PA, most of PA could see some snow as well, with the exception of southeast PA. So yeah, kind of like the main story here with what we're seeing weather-wise is, well, this system here. Okay, so this is our system. We're going to be seeing a lot of rain across the southeast Saturday and Sunday. We can see Sunday morning here we had that snowfall in this area, but then in the southeast we're just seeing a lot of precip. We have a lot of moisture. Just a lot of cold rain. We take a look at temperatures Sunday afternoon in the southeast, and it is pretty cold. We can see we have some temperatures in the southeast there, pretty much like in the mid 40s. Southern Georgia and Florida are pretty warm, so it's like, the coastal South Carolina, coastal North Carolina are also mild. Not really warm, but just that very cold air across these areas like Atlanta, Greenville, Charlotte, and up into Virginia there, with that cold air damming, it looks like as well. So yeah, that's kind of temperatures Sunday. We're going to be looking at much closer to average though really starting today. It's kind of when we're looking at it, but our next system after this is going to be this system Tuesday, which we do have a potential severe weather event with this, which we're gonna discuss in just a second. Which, of course, the GFS, because this winter it's just, pretty much if you like snow in the east, this system's looking to just be extremely annoying. Literally everywhere in the East Coast sees rain from this at some point. You could see some snowfall like in coastal Maine, but then, oh no, then there goes the rain. Thursday just comes up. Which it's sad that the Texas Panhandle gets more snow than coastal Maine, but that's just what you get now. Apparently, but we see that system right there. GFS doesn't really have that a good scenario for. We're not gonna really look at severe weather, but because we'll go over to pivotal weather for that in just a second. But we can see, some bursts of snow across the Texas Panhandle, even down into northern Texas and a good bit of Oklahoma. A pretty big winter storm up through northwest Arkansas, Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, Michigan, and then that's pretty much it. Take a look at the European just to see if it's close. Very close actually. Snow is a little bit further east into Texas there, but similar areas get that snowfall. And literally everywhere in the east does see rain at some point, pretty much. Yep. I mean, literally, even interior northern Maine does end up switching over to rain in the Euro. Okay, so I mean, Texas might stay all snow, but then northern Maine's not. So it's just, if you like snow in the east, once again, this is not the system for you. Just to let you know. But if you like severe weather and you live in the southeast, this is really what's gonna be for you here. Because we seem to get, I mean, it seems like most of our tornadoes in the past couple of years or most of our severe weather events seem to just happen kind of earlier in the year now. We don't really, I mean, it's just annoying, to be honest. But yeah, so I mean, Tuesday we can see this. Tuesday, I mean, our severe weather threat from the SPC here is from Louisiana up into kind of almost the Columbus area of Georgia. Yeah, it does actually include Columbus. Areas of southern Alabama, southern Mississippi, western, and like the western Florida Panhandle in that. The GFS doesn't really fully indicate this piece of energy like getting into this area. By Tuesday afternoon, we can see we lock it on hour 99 here. It's kind of what I want to do. And I mean, our environment across that area is not too good. I mean, the thing is the timing with this could just be slightly off to the point where we see an overnight event, which could kind of mess everything up for like severe weather wise, because by Wednesday, by the time we get peak heating again, we could be looking at a more southeastern type event here. Not southeast, like more like Carolinas, Georgia, Florida event. Just by looking at dew points here. But we'll see, because I mean, this is still several days out. Timing could potentially change. Take a look at the European model here, and a piece of, or not that piece of energy. I mean, that's not really the issue. It's in place, but we don't see the moisture really in place during peak heating. But I mean, during the night, we can still see a severe weather threat, but that would help to kind of limit it a little bit, I guess you could say. But very similar solution between the GFS and the Euro, especially with this. And the dew points look practically identical comparing the GFS to the Euro for Wednesday. So, I mean, we just take like a couple of soundings. Let me go back to the 18Z run, the GFS here, a little further north actually, with the new run. But if I can get a sounding that's not contaminated, yeah, I mean, we can see we have definitely see that severe weather. The instability is a little low, but if you take a look at like an actual map of surface-based Cape here, yeah, we can see we do lack that instability there. Let's go back to Tuesday though. But yeah, we do definitely, instability could be an issue, but considering this is several days out, we just want to get the point across. Right now it's just kind of like getting the point that like we do have the potential for a severe weather event, where the main threats would probably be damaging wind as well as tornadoes. This does look like a decent event for tornadoes at this point, if we can see like other stuff come together as we get closer to it. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. I hope you all have a great day tomorrow. Probably not have a video tomorrow, and I'll be back Sunday. But yeah, thank you for watching, and goodbye.